Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast. This is the first takeaway with Tay and Ren, where we give our first impressions, our immediate reactions to the Packers' win or loss, as it may be. Today was against the Falcons in Atlanta, and the Packers couldn't get it done in the end. They lost 24-25. I got Ren on the comm links. Ren, how you doing tonight? And you just bust right into your first reactions.
Yeah, Tay, I mean, it never felt comfortable to me. And the run D is the same as the same. You know, what's new is old and what's old is new, I guess. It's the same Joe Barry run defense, man. I mean, you know, Algier and Bijan is how it's apparently properly pronounced.
Bijan, yeah.
Just were killing them, man. And in the second half, they just said, you know what? We're just going to run it straight at you. Stop us. And the Packer D really didn't have a whole lot of answers. And, you know, when you have a lead like that going into the fourth quarter, you know, it's not just on the defense. Offense has got to put something together, man. I mean, you're talking about a fourth quarter, Tay, where they gained a total of 7 yards. A three and out, and to end the game, the 4 and out. Talk about a way to lose a game that, you know, really we should be probably talking about a victory. If you have one good sustained drive in the fourth quarter, it's probably done. It's unfortunate, you know, but I saw, you know, Ritter kind of take over in the second half and, you know, just, you know, they dunked, they were hitting Bijan, those little flat passes, and he'd just go. Bijan, I should say. I just corrected myself. But it was, you know, it's the game starts fluky. They go with the flea flicker right away, and it doesn't work, but they get the big PI call. And then they move themselves out of field goal position with a stupid penalty. They didn't kick it, you know, 3 points right there, Tay. Ball game. So it was just a weird game. Again, I never felt comfortable. The offense was really herky-jerky. Obviously, nice game from Jaden Reed. He was doing some really nice things. Jordan started out slow, and then for a period of time, I think he was like the next, you know, 10, 11, 12 passes, he was like 11 of 12. So he was trying to he's starting to get his feet under him. A.J. Dillon, Tay, not good. He can't run the football. He doesn't do anything well. There's nothing about A.J. Dillon's game that is good. You know, heard other people talk about it. You know, one of his big features is supposed to be, you know, just smash in the mouth. But even when he runs it at you and sure he puts a hit on you, he still goes down. It's not like he hits you and then bounces off and keeps going. I haven't seen him really play a complete game or a good game in, I don't know, 2 years. Maybe it was his rookie year, Tay. I don't know. But he's been relatively ineffective. You're talking about a running game for the Packers. When you take Jordan Love's few scrambles out of the mix, 55 yards in the ground, Tay. That's just not going to get it done. And you didn't have, obviously, Aaron Jones out there. Another week without Christian Watson. The scratch of David Bakhtiari. And then, unfortunately, in the middle of the game, you get Elton Jenkins departing with a knee injury. That's a concern, man. We talk about how much we love this football team from that offensive line standpoint and how that goes a long way for them. But suddenly you're not running David Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins out there. This is a completely different thing and not something we feel great about, I would say. It was just a disappointing thing to watch, and you could just kind of see it unravel, you know, and it's upsetting because really they should be 2-0. And essentially they beat themselves with, again, poor run defense. Over 200 yards on the ground for the Falcons today. That's inexcusable. Yeah. Almost 5 yards a carry. I think it was like 4.7 yards a carry. You know, just it was tough to watch, but I could feel it happening. I'm like, this is going to get away. And then that last drive, you could see the time melting away. You knew that they're just going to milk this clock. The Green Bay does not have an opportunity. Inevitably, they did. They had, 52 seconds or whatever, no timeouts, and they couldn't even complete a pass. That was a weird last play to end the game with regard to the illegal shift, but apparently that happens at start of play. So that whole thing they looked at, and New York looks at the fourth down that they call the catch, but then it was an incomplete pass. because of that being at the shift at actual start of play, the way that rule works is that no, I mean, it's just over, game over, ball game.
Yep.
So
yeah.
it was a disappointing watch, and I never felt comfortable throughout the course of the game. How about you?
Yeah, I think that uncomfortableness kind of describes it pretty well. I don't know, like AJ Dillon had his chance today, and he just didn't step up. And I don't, like we all agree. I think he's not passing the eye test. He had a chance today, and he just kind of failed. He did some good things here and there, but you just expected more. I mean, he had 15 rushes, 55 yards total, a long of 8. One catch for 8 yards. And he just had one target. So it's like you need more from that. And only 3 rushes from Emmanuel Wilson, too. I mean, he got stuffed on his first play of the game that he was given. So, you just look for more there, and you were disappointed with the run game, especially when you look on the other side of the ball with Robinson just dominating, juking, and breaking ankles out there. You got to give it to him. I mean, he did a great job, and he made the defense look pretty bad at times. The whole run game did. So, Bears sucked, right? And the Packers looked great against a bad team like the Bears. This week, they get a better team with the Falcons. So is this Falcons team a match for the Packers? I think after we watched this game, you have to say it was, right? But I still think the Packers are a better team, but just maybe not right now today. But they just kind of like, it was a lot of good and a lot of bad. And in the end, the pendulum swung towards the bad side. They had some things stacking against them, the deficiencies on offensive line, and they missed a couple takeaways on defense, and those are the ones that could have sealed the game and really put this one away for the Packers. And then you could be asking yourselves, did the Packers sneak one out, and should they have lost? But in the end, they did. The fourth quarter is what did it. I think we all saw it unfold. 3 phases of the ball: defense, offense, and special teams. They just collapsed and watched the Falcons rally and stick it out and win this game. So, I think it was a game of ups and downs for the Packers. I saw some good things, and I saw some really bad things that they missed opportunities on. And I think that could be the real Packers right now. And is that a terrible thing? Like, did we expect them to do perfect, in week 2 already? No, but this one hurts because they were in control for most of the game. And that's what frustrates you and infuriates you as a Packers fan. Is you watch it you watch it melt away, and you could have had that. So that's why I think most fans are upset today, is because they had it in their grasp, but they let go and it slipped through their fingers. So that's what I saw. And do I still have hope for the Packers as I did last week? Yes. But I think this is more of a reality check. I think the football gods have put balance to the Packers right now, bringing them back down to earth. So I think this is more of what we're going to see with the Packers. A lot of good during the game and some bad. But the Packers themselves have to really dig deep and figure out, are they going to play 4 quarters here and really finish it out and do what we know they can do? Or can they let it slip away like this? It's really up to them. Ren, I don't know. You got anything else to say?
No, man. I mean, the one thing I did miss that point that you made about the 2 easy interceptions, obviously missed by Jair and not Russell Douglas, but Quay Walker. I mean, Quay's was probably another pick 6. Jair's, you could argue it, that one too. You could have had nothing but green grass in front of them. But yeah, you gotta make those plays when they're there for you to take. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the whole game. It's just like their opportunities, and when you have a 12-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you're talking a 2-score game. All you have to do is really, like I said, put together one good sustained drive, and it's over. And they just couldn't do that, and it's again, it's a tough one, because when you get to the end of the season and you lose the game by 1 point, you look back at it and go, man, what could have been. So you don't want to lose games like that, Tay.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, what do you guys think out there in Packer Universe? That's a rhetorical question and a literal one. You can contact us, email us if you want to get ahead of the weekly podcast that we do every midweek, and send us an email with your questions, comments, info@packeruniverse.com. Go follow us on social media. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't. And let's... I don't know what you think. I need a day or two here, Ren, to decompress a little bit to digest this, but I'm not giving up hope. I'm not going to have a knee-jerk reaction, but this one was a little bit of a burn because you saw it in the grasp. So, I appreciate you joining me tonight to give your first impressions, but Ren, I'll see you later in the week, and we'll do our normal weekly podcast.
We'll talk into. Have a great Sunday night.
Take care, Universe.